Welcome back to Late Night. We're here with Nicole Wallace. Nicole, today was harrowing and terrifying. In an effort to lighten things up a little bit, there is a great new development in television, which is my dear friend Leslie Jones has started watching MSNBC and basically live tweeting it for what seems like multiple hours a day. Are you aware of this?
I am a groupie. I mean, I'm like whatever 10 steps past a fan is. And we love her so much in my house that my son watches some of them. We do earmuffs for the bad language.
Then you got to do a lot of earmuffs when it's Leslie Jones.
When I put my glasses on, my son now talks like Leslie, Nick can't put no glasses on. We love her. We love her.
Yeah, just for those who haven't seen, here's a quick clip of how Leslie reacts when she's watching Nicole on MSNBC.
Yes, Nicole. Nice, Joy. Y'all look good with your pink and your purple. Look at Joy. Beautiful smile. Look at Nicole. Where your glasses at, Nicole? We gonna need them.
There, she mentioned the glasses right there. She very much likes the Nicole move of putting the glasses on.
Well, I'm blind as a bat, so I think Tucker Carlson, once made fun of me for doing it for show, but I wish that were the case. I'm blind as a bat, so I can't read a thing.
Gotcha. So what presents as you're about to get serious is in reality you have to put them on to read.
Well, and you'll appreciate that. Sometimes I have no idea what's next, so I put on my glasses to see, what
right, of course, yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing.
I have been there as well. Hey, I want to talk about last night. We did have this election result, and, we had two candidates that, were, I guess, endorsed by the president, though it seemed like he was putting more energy in talking about himself than he was in talking about them. What was your takeaway insofar as how Trump affected last night's results?
Look, I think what happened last night is very much connected to what happened today in good and bad ways. I mean, President-elect Biden and his new Attorney General, we learned today who that's going to be. It's going to be Merrick Garland, who President Obama had nominated to the Supreme Court and Mitch McConnell blocked. They're going to have to really look at investigating the president and investigating his supporters and people that were there. And that's just one department. That's DOJ. The Biden agenda, I talked to a person in the incoming Biden White House, and she said to me, we don't know what we don't know. I think it is so important that Biden can move at lightning speed in the beginning to get vaccines into our arms. I mean, we haven't even mentioned it yet, but I think almost 4,000 people died today of COVID. So President-elect Biden has his hands full, and it is a really, really, really good thing that he's going to have control, his party controlling the Senate, so that he can get, at least for the first 2 years, as much of his agenda through as possible.
Do you think that historians will look back on the way the president involved himself in this race and frame it as maybe one of the worst strategies?
I hope it's something bigger. I mean, I hope it goes back to what you said in the beginning, and I hope that we can add voters rejecting. I mean, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue were coup enthusiasts. They were for overturning the results of November's election. And I think that if you can take any sort of solace in some of what we've seen, is that in November, Donald Trump was roundly rejected. And in Georgia, his allies who had wrapped themselves around him, he was at war with their own Republican statewide elected officials. All of the statewide electeds in Georgia are Republicans. So Secretary of State Raffensperger, Governor Kemp, Gabe Sterling, these people who, in comparison to all of the Republicans in Washington, look like truth tellers and heroes, were actually, until Trump started fighting his election loss, likely allies of Perdue and Kelly. So it's a good thing for the country that Georgia rejected them. We'll see if Democrats can continue that streak, but I think if we can extrapolate that Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff were superb candidates who ran very disciplined campaigns during a time of incredible turmoil. President-elect Biden went into the state and campaigned and kept the message very forward-looking, very positive. And it's good that Georgians selected that. But I think that it is it would be unfair to sort of understate just how challenging the governing climate will be for Joe Biden and Democrats in the Congress.
I do want to swing back to something you said about the elected officials in Georgia, Raffensperger, Sterling, and Kemp, who have defended time and time again the authenticity and the effectiveness of the electoral process in Georgia, and the very fact that the Republicans and the Republican Party would certainly espouse the idea of states' rights. And yet you have, not to go back to it, but you have, Senator Hawley today, who's, from Missouri, talking about how Pennsylvania should run their elections. Does that sort of speak to, how little meat there is on the bones of what they're criticizing when the states that are, again, Republican-run states are saying, hey, guys, we're the ones on the ground here. We're also upset with the results, but we can promise you this has been fair and square.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's worse. It's more egregious than that. And it means there's no marrow inside the bones of today's Republican Party. They're soulless. They're without principle. Their ambition has blinded them from think about what they strive to do. Their ambition means they want to be the next president of this country, a country that they don't respect or hold in high enough regard to honor a choice that this country made in a democratic election. So I think that they have been revealed in Washington by some of these statewide Republican officials who were, Georgia's Republican governor is as Trumpy as you can get. He was in a fight with Atlanta Mayor Bottoms for months about mask wearing. These were not squishy Republicans. These were Georgia Republicans. And to see Josh Hawley, the Ivy League educated Josh Hawley, trying to undermine other Democratic and Republican statewide officials just shows how hollow and craven and how sort of driven by political ambition he is. And it's sad that we're even talking about him, but he deserves a lot of the blame for what happened in Congress today.
Once again, I really do want to thank you after basically what I think is about 24 hours on television that you found an extra 15 minutes for us. Thanks so much, Nicole.
An honor. Thank you.